So I'm going to touch on something I hadn't planned on, but has Harley really gone woke, or is something else kind of happening here? Let's discuss it, and is it time to say goodbye, Harley? Hello and welcome to Road Rush Nation. I'm Terry, your host here, and thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel. If you're a member of the nation, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to be a member of the nation, all you need to do is hit that subscribe button, and don't forget, it's free. All right, the big elephant in the room, the big discussion going around a lot of the Harley platforms is, has Harley gone woke? All right, this all started because the CEO of Harley put in a new DEI policy, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this put everybody in an uproar. Now, before I get too far into this, there's been videos of the Harley tent at Sturgis that I want to give you just a little bit of caution on. First, this video that goes around and says, oh look, the whole Harley tent is empty. It comes from Cycle Drag. Now, let me give you a little history on Cycle Drag, just so you know. Jack, who runs Cycle Drag, started out just doing videos and information on NHRA drag racing of motorcycles, and that's really where his whole platform has been. Then a couple years ago, he decided, oh, I'm not making enough money, not getting enough views, so let me go outside to outside drag racing and start showing the biking world. He does not own a Harley, by the way. Anyway, a couple years ago, we had the Budweiser issue, okay? And he went to Sturgis because he started going to bike rallies, putting up those type of videos, and he saw that the Budweiser tent was empty. Well, that little video that he had took off, went crazy, went worldwide, and got him millions of views. And of course, when you get millions of views, you get dollars from those different platforms. So he figured out a way to make money. Now, he's not a Harley guy, and he's really not into what I call the average biker scene. He's got other things going on. Anyway, when he went by and did the whole Harley this year, look, it's empty, I had to kind of laugh when I saw the video. And I'll put up a quick clip of it here.
Guys, I wanted to give you a look under the Harley Davidson tent. A lot of people have been asking me, is there really a Harley boycott going on in Sturgis? Well, we wanted to come out here and show you. Remember last year, Cycle Drag showed you the Budweiser tent, and unfortunately, it looks like for the motor company this year, it may be affecting them. It looks like participation is way down under the Harley tent. As for the reason for this boycott, Harley accused of going quote-unquote woke by some. Because of that, not many have entered this booth, at least not today, here in Sturgis, South Dakota at the 84th annual rally. Let me know your thoughts down below. Cycle Drag will continue to monitor this situation for you. Keep it locked to Cycle Drag YouTube, Cycle Drag Facebook, and we'll see if business picks up at all for Harley Davidson as this rally continues. Attendance is very, very strong, but not here under the Harley tent, so there may indeed be something to this much talked about Harley Davidson boycott.
And the reason I had to laugh was because obviously he's not a Harley person. He kind of saw it a little different. Now, we've gone to Sturgis many times. Our daughter lives up in Rapid City. And when we've gone into Harley tents and even other rallies, it doesn't take much to walk in, and it's really just a pin stop. So there's not a bunch of people hanging out in them. And this year was different than all previous years, and here's why. Harley normally would release a new bike at Sturgis, and since last year, they've kind of changed the whole way that they're doing new bikes. And when they release new bikes, they're no longer releasing them in Sturgis. They did last year with the CVOs, so we saw the new whole front end and the new look of the bikes. And then in January this year, that's when they released the new bikes. So when you go to the Harley tent at Sturgis, there's really nothing to see. There's nothing to bring you in there to say, oh, what's the new thing? It's just a Harley tent. So there might be people that were protesting and saying, I'm not going to go into the Harley tent and I'm not going to give them, the time of day. I get it. But it's also pretty normal to see a Harley tent with not a whole lot of people in there. People come in and go out. It's not, they don't have really anything to sit there and make you want to stay there unless they have the new bikes that you haven't seen or we're just releasing them, then you'd want to stay in a Harley tent. So I just wanted to give you a word of caution when you see that video and everybody goes, oh my God, look at everybody's protesting Harley. Maybe not. It could be just a normal event at the tent at Sturgis. And of course, attendance was down this year at Sturgis, and there's multiple reasons for that too, which it wasn't a big anniversary, one of those highlighted anniversary years, and the economy's in the crapper, and people just don't have the money to just say, let's go. So it still had a good attendance, but still it wasn't quite what it was. All right, let's get back to the DEI. So diversity, equity, and inclusion, that's the big thing, the big woke thing. You got to remember now, I'm not into the woke DEI. In fact, it's one of the most racist programs you could have. And I'll tell you why I have that experience. The company that I work for has gone through the DEI. We have a DEI program, and I could tell you about the transitions for it, and it's been pretty bad. I was a chair for one of the DEI groups, and I was really proud to be part of this group. And it's probably not what you think. I was part of the veterans group. And the reason I loved being the chair for the veterans group was because we hit the gamut of every group that wants to be part of DEI. Whether you're gay, whether you're straight, whether your nationality, I had them all. Handicapped, disabled, whatever, they were all part of my group. That's why I loved it. And you know what? The people in our group don't give a poop about what you are. Color, whatever. That's the great part about being part of a veterans group. No, I did not personally serve. I did this as a position of a military spouse. And of course, I do have a disabled son, a veteran, and my daughter did 20 years in the Air Force. So that's how I was doing it. Anyway, I ran across some issues, and there's some certain things I stand up for. First of all, your DEI has to be for everybody, and you can't pick and choose which groups you're going to support and not support. And that's kind of what happened. But the killer was I was on a phone call with the DEI director for our group, our company, and we have people with disabilities. Not my veterans group, but it was somebody there was a disability rep that was on the call. And on these Teams calls, you can have it where it will do the transcript so the person can read that. Well, this is what turned me off and made me drop, is that the director, who's supposed to be looking out for everybody, got really upset because the person was doing the transcript where it prints out your closed caption so you know what's being said. The person was hard of hearing. That's why they do the closed caption. That's why that feature is really available, is to help those with disabilities so that they can participate. And the director for DEI, now this was at our company, this is not at Harley, said, turn it off. I don't want to have any recordings of this meeting. Excuse me, she has a disability. It isn't about what you feel. I was like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I hung up on the phone call, and then I turned in. I was no longer going to be the chair for the veterans group because I'd also fought to have, I won't say fought, had brought up a discussion about some other things that were coming up that we could participate and volunteer for, and it was kibosh because it was the veterans group. Oh, we always do Memorial Day, that's enough. Huh? Okay. I think she forgot what was going on. So what I've learned is, if you notice the trend with the DEI directors, it's very specific on the groups that they want to keep. Now, going back to Harley and their DEI, we all work for companies that have these social awareness woke programs. They do it because they're publicly traded companies. They are responsible to the stockholders, not the consumer. The consumer that's buying stuff, that's not who they're responsible back to. They're back to their boards, and they're back to the stockholders. That's where they're making their money. So they have to be aware of them. Now, the current CEO for Harley comes from a shoe company, Puma. He was there, I think, 25 years or so. So he comes from a shoe company and then comes over to Harley. It's a totally different culture, totally different customer. But a lot of these CEOs nowadays, they do what I call jumping from CEO job to CEO job because they make more money. And he was a little late on the boat. And so now he's going to stay here for a couple of years. This is what I predict. Stay for a couple of years, screw things up, leave with his bonuses because there's contracts that says, oh, Harley has to pay him so much, and they've given him stock and so on. So he'll leave with millions and then go to another company and do the same thing. I've seen it happen at my company, and we got bought out by another bigger company, which is a little more conservative, but still has some of that woke crud in there. Personally, I just don't participate in it. And what I mean by that, when they start telling you got to put he, they, them on your signature line, I just leave it off. Because I don't give a poop about what you are when I'm at work. All I give a darn about is, are you doing your job and can you get me what I need? I don't care. Are you a guy in a dress? I don't care. Give me what I need. Are you doing your job? Okay? That's where it matters. When you bring it into the workplace, then it causes other problems. But anyway, the thing I guess I want you to think about is how many are going to quit your job because you're at a company that has DEI? Probably not any of you, because we need work. We know this stuff goes on, but it's how you address it, how you respond to it. That's the one thing you control. I just don't respond to it. I don't care. I won't put that little he, thee, they, them, and I've seen a lot more people have dropped it because they're all like, I'm not playing the game. I'm not going to play this game where you're specifically picking out special people and special groups and special ethnicities to address. I don't care. Most people don't really give a damn when you're at the job. Oh, look, there's this person looks like, the purple person over in the corner. They look like they're getting extra special treatment, although they can't do their job. All we care about is, can you do your job? If you can't, get off your butt or quit, go. Or management needs to do something about them. The whole DEI thing does not improve employee morale. In fact, it brings it down. And the thing too, here's the other biggie. People are saying, oh, I am gonna jump off a Harley and go to Indian. Newsflash. Polaris has had a DEI program in place since 2019. Yep, and they were given money to the burning of Minneapolis. There's groups there, so there's like a whole other program, they call it RIDE. See, they're hiding it under titles. A lot of companies do this. This is not a zing on Polaris, they just don't want people to openly know that they're doing this because they don't want to lose the business. So when you say you're going to jump from one to another, stop. And the other thing too is when you do jump from one to another, the only people that you're really hurting is your local dealerships. And I will tell you, the mom and pop dealerships really need our support. Our support. During this last ride, we went across country and we hit a few dealerships. And I was very fortunate to hit some mom and pop ones and learned that, of course, the new CEO is pushing for automotive companies to buy these dealerships. That's what happened in Black Hills. There's also one that's in Philadelphia that hit. And when you hit an automotive dealership-owned Harley dealership, you lose what Harley and going to a dealership is all about. Luckily, we got to hit some of those mom and pop places. One dealership that we went to was up in New York, and it's Brunswick Harley Davidson in Troy, New York. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the chip. I wanted to show this to you. I'm going to show it to you in a second. And I met the owner, wonderful woman. They've had it since the early 70s and have built this dealership. It was actually open on a Sunday. So if you're up in the New York area, go check them out. It was really kind of cool because they're like I think they said there was only like 3 in the state that were open on Sundays. And so we got to go in there. And I have videos on it from our trip. So make sure you watch for that. But Troy, New York is the home of Uncle Sam. It's the home of Uncle Sam. And this Uncle Sam, they put on all their t-shirts, and because it's the home of Uncle Sam. He's actually buried there. I didn't know the whole story on Uncle Sam, and I thought it was pretty cool. Well, she started to tell me when the new CEO came online, they were told to get rid of Uncle Sam off the back of their t-shirts. Now, you'd have to meet this lady, and she's a little feisty. The reason they said to get rid of Uncle Sam was because they told her it was too political. It's Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam represents us all. Uncle Sam don't give a poop about anything else. Uncle Sam cares about if you're an American. How is that political? So the feisty little owner, loved her, said, basically, pound sand. They have to order their t-shirts from Harley. So what she did is she went to a local t-shirt shop, had them print up the Uncle Sam on the back. She could only order like 50 at a time. They would sell it immediately. She'd have to go back and order another 50 from this vendor, and so on. Harley finally figured out that, because the stuff that they were sending them wasn't selling. People want Uncle Sam. We want our Uncle Sam. Guess what? Harley finally figured it out and said, oh, I guess it's not political. Okay, you can we'll put him back on the shirt. And she slowly started seeing Uncle Sam come back on their shirts. He's not, remember, this CEO is not from here. He's from Germany. They got whole different values. I deal with job sites that are in Germany, and I have to deal with the German Worker Council. I have to deal with German regulations. So I know how their mindset is, and it's a little different. And Puma, coming from Puma, we know what Puma is. Anyway, the only thing, as I say, yeah, it's sad that Harley's doing this, but look at how many companies you guys are working for that probably have the same kind of policy. We're not happy about it. In fact, we just think it's a bunch of bull hooey. It gave somebody a job, basically, and I just don't participate. I refuse to, because I really don't give a poop. Anyway, when you think about, I'm going to boycott Harley, think about that local dealership is who you're going to be hurting. You'll be hurting that local guy, who doesn't really care about the DEI, has nothing to do with them. That's the manufacturer. And who are you going to go to? You're going to go to Indian that has its own policy? You're just trading one for another. I say, keep your Harley. Let them know we don't buy this baloney. I will guarantee you this guy is not going to last, because he's hurting the value of the stock. That's what's going to hurt Harley. And that's what's going to get the board to say. And there's a couple of members on the board for Harley that are woke. And they're going to try to get their agenda in there. And they'll soon learn that getting your agenda doesn't go over well with us, the consumers. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, do a little bit of educating on my opinion on the whole woke thing, which, what a waste of time, guys. Treat people good. Be kind to each other. Nobody gives a poop. When you're on your bike, do you really give a dang about what somebody else is? I don't care. I don't care. That's the one beauty I like about riding, is we meet people from all different backgrounds and ethnicities and sexualities. I've got friends across the board that we probably would never have met if it hadn't been for the bikes. And I love going cross country and meeting riders, and I don't care. Nobody gives a damn. We care about riding. We care about your safety. Be good to each other. Be kind to each other. We've got enough baloney going on in the world. This whole DEI stuff and going woke. Let us set the example. Don't let Harley set the example. Let us. We'll buy the bikes because we enjoy them. We like the looks. We like the bikes. But we'll show them when we're out riding, and we're out riding with our brothers and sisters from across the world, from across the gamut of people. All right, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this conversation kind of sparked a little, let me think about this. And don't rip the emblems off your bike. really leaves a goo all over there, and now you got a tank that looks goofy, and you're going to have to clean it up, and you still got a black street glide. Anyway, love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Really would like to have you part of the nation. Ride safe, and I hope to catch you on the highways.